Last summer, before the pandemic actually, I started filming with my mum as she was going through kind of a lot of cancer treatment at the time, but she found a lot of relief in kind of swimming in the sea. So a lot of my work is about the time that I spent with her last summer when we were locked away after March, and then we kind of created these films together. And so, yeah, a lot of my time away from university has been putting these films together with kind of sound work as well, and making kind of space. I've been given this corridor, and I knew that kind of in February that I'd be kind of creating a work in a liminal space, and kind of in between. And I think a lot of my work is about that kind of, that in-betweenness.
When I made them in lockdown, and they just kind of did funny little things, like they'd play a little bit of the guitar or whatever. But when I came back, I kind of figured that they needed to actually say something and speak. So I just used phones and things to do that. But yeah, like the ones that say "I love you" and things like that, kind of trying to look a little bit at kind of the way that we've kind of operated via screens over lockdown, and also the way kind of a lot of people have had to like say goodbye to their loved ones over screens, and that's quite intense.
Yeah, like the visual of it kind of came from, I was like obsessed with skirts and curtains and fabrics, and then you were really interested in kind of like detecting things underground, and then it kind of became that the skirts became representative of different layers of earth and sea and sky, and so then it sort of had this interplay between.
Yeah. And I also think that we wanted something to be, because we weren't going to be in it the whole time, so we wanted it to have a life outside of us. So like you'd come in and be like, oh, what is this world that they've made, or like be in it as well as us. Like it's not just, I think because you might not be able to see us even in the performance, so we think that it would be nice to, that you feel as part of it as we do, I guess, in a way.
The apologist to navigate this wooden district, with the evergreens deciduous, we meet. This is for the mute, the backbedding tired. This is for the beaten souls, when the street has lost its shine, we meet. This is for loss, so this is for you.
I guess I was interested in recontextualizing work that I made in a rural space in Sunset, where I was for lockdown, and seeing how my work kind of changed when I moved back to London. A lot of the imagery kind of came from what was around me at that time, so like fields and fences and like all these symbols of place, like this kind of blue rope, this rope motif which kind of crops up, which has now become a more kind of abstract.
The painting derives from it's a DNA barcode that I got from Dr. Ashley Ong from the Wakey Institute in Australia, and his work focuses on Down syndrome. I liked the fact that when you look at a DNA barcode, it's very, very abstract, and you could take like your barcode, someone with Down syndrome, someone with cancer, like any different thing. So I quite like the fact that it abstracts like the figure of a person to the extent that genetics and stuff is more of like a open field sort of thing.
The background of my painting, I use like tons of yellow ochre. So I was doing this research as well at the same time when I was looking into Jogood. So yellow ochre is like basically the oldest color pigment from like ancient time, and it was a natural pigment from earth, and as well as gold, because both of them has a very strong historical moment. So I think it works really great together to put them into one piece of painting.
I'm sort of like making the work like within the space in like as kind of playful a way as I can, kind of trying to take off the kind of finished, like the kind of pressure of having a finished kind of picture perfect thing, and just like trying to make it seem more accessible by showing the process